This story begins with a lie, but don't worry, you won't know which one until it's too late. Olympic Gymnastics Arena, Seoul, South Korea. 15,000 people, all here for one woman. The bass is pounding. Light sticks wave like a sea of stars. Security guards formed human barriers to keep fans from rushing the stage. And there, center stage, bathed in spotlights, Min Ji-woo, Korea's nation's sweetheart. 26 years old. Net worth, $43 million. Instagram followers, 18.6 million. She's wearing white, arms raised, voice soaring over the crowd. Perfect, manufactured, untouchable. But this story isn't about her. Look past the stage, past the cameras, past the managers shouting into headsets, and makeup artists touching up powder between sets. There, in the shadows, holding a tablet and wearing a designer blazer that's actually from an ASOS clearance rack, that's Amara Tessema, Ethiopian Korean, 28 years old, professional translator, Jimu's personal handler for 3 years. She speaks 6 languages fluently. She works 70-hour weeks, and she's completely invisible to everyone rushing past her. And in 72 hours, she's going to destroy everything you're looking at right now. But she doesn't know that yet. Her earpiece crackles. It's Sung Min, her mentor, telling her to stand by for Italian press in the green room after the show. She responds in fluent Korean, then switches to Italian on her phone, confirming interview times. Around her, staff rush past. Costume changes, water bottles, last-minute set list adjustments. She's a boast in the machinery. Invisible, necessary, forgotten. But then, Ji-woo exits the stage, drenched in sweat and radiant with the high of 15,000 people screaming her name. And instead of going to her manager, her makeup artist, her publicist, she walks past all of them and comes directly to Amara. Water, Ji-woo says in English, their private language, the one nobody else understands. Amara hands her the bottle. Their fingers touch for just a second. The touch lingers. Just long enough for us to notice, just long enough for it to mean something. You were perfect, Amara tells her. Ji-woo drinks, then grins. Liar, I missed the high note in the bridge. No one noticed but you, Amara says. You noticed. I always notice you. The moment hangs there, suspended, real. Ji-woo's manager calls her name, and the spell breaks. She walks toward the press room. Amara watches her go. Oh, did I mention they're in love? Secret, of course. Ji-woo's contract explicitly forbids dating. Her career would end if anyone knew. So they live in stolen moments. 60 seconds of real in a world built on performance. In this industry, that's everything. Too bad it's all about to burn. 72 hours, that's all the time left before Amara's entire world, before Ji-woo's entire world, before everything you're looking at right now gets reduced to ashes. But right now, in this moment, backstage at the Olympic Gymnastics Arena, everything is still perfect. The lie is still intact. The performance continues. Let me show you the life nobody sees. It's 2 in the morning in Itaewon, Seoul. Amara's studio apartment is tiny. Clothes drying on a rack, instant ramen containers stacked in the sink, one window overlooking Seoul's neon sprawl, the city that never sleeps, the city that spent 3 years treating her like she's not quite Korean enough to belong. She sits cross-legged on her floor, laptop open, face illuminated by the blue light of a video call. On the screen, her mother. Gaunt, skeletal, the kind of thin that tells you death is coming soon. They speak in Amharic. Her mother asks if she's eating enough. Amara lies and says she's fine, just busy. Her mother mentions the hospital bills this month. Amara cuts her off, telling her they're already paid, that she got a bonus, that her employer is very generous. It's a lie. There was no bonus. Her mother coughs. Wet, rattling, painful. The sound of lungs giving up. Stage 4 cancer. 6 months to live, maybe less. The treatment that could save her costs $35,000. Amara makes $42,000 a year. The math doesn't work. It never did. Come home soon, Amae. I promise. The call ends. Amara sits in the sudden silence of her tiny apartment, alone with the weight of that promise she can't keep. So for 8 months, she's been stealing. She opens a hidden folder on her laptop, the one labeled private in a subfolder inside a subfolder where nobody would ever think to look. Inside, an Excel spreadsheet, numbers, bank transfers, fake receipts, wire transfer confirmations, 47 million won, about 35,000 US dollars, skimmed from the agency's expense accounts over 8 months. Fake vendor receipts for translation services that never happened, phantom consulting fees, equipment rentals that were already paid for by someone else. She's been careful, methodical, covering her tracks. But here's the thing, and this is important. She didn't keep it. The spreadsheet scrolls down to show where the money went. Wire transfer records to Seoul National University Hospital for her mother's treatment, but also Eritrean Relief Fund, Horn of Africa Refugee Alliance, Survivors Network International. Organizations she found after weeks of research, people she's never met, people connected to a truth she wishes she never discovered. Because 6 months ago, while translating old contracts for the agency's 30th anniversary retrospective, Amara found something. She was in the company's archive room, pulling dusty folders from 1994, the year the agency was founded. Standard incorporation papers, investor agreements, nothing unusual, until she saw a name on a founding investment document that made her blood run cold. Kdrama International Security Consulting Ltd. Investment amount, 2 billion won. Investor name, Jonas Kdrama. Her father's name, in her employer's founding documents. She told herself it was a coincidence. Common name, different person. It had to be, because her father was a diplomat. He worked for the Ethiopian government in peacekeeping operations. He died when she was young. That's what her mother always told her. A hero, a peacekeeper, a man who gave his life serving others. But Amara couldn't let it go. 3 weeks of research followed. 3 weeks of staying late at internet cafes, using VPNs to hide her searches, digging through UN databases and archived news reports. 3 weeks of wishing she was wrong. 3 weeks of finding proof that she wasn't. Her father wasn't a diplomat. He was a mercenary, a war criminal. The company name, Kdrama International Security Consulting, was a front. He ran armed operations across 6 African countries: Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, Sudan, Congo, Mozambique. Anywhere someone would pay for violence, he delivered. The worst operation happened in Eritrea in 1994. 3 villages, 1 week. Systematic elimination of everyone who lived there. The UN called it a massacre. They were correct. 3,000 casualties. Men, women, children. Unarmed civilians. The operation was led by a Korean-speaking commander. UN investigators identified him from survivor testimony, but could never prove his identity. His name in the reports, Colonel Jonas Kdrama, her father. And that blood money, that 2 billion won he invested in 1994, that became the seed funding for the K-pop agency that would eventually sign Min Ji-woo, the agency that pays Amara's salary, the agency that built an empire on the corpses of 3,000 lives. So for 6 months, Amara has been trying to give it back, piece by piece, stealing from the company that was built on stolen lives, sending the money to organizations that help survivors and refugees, as if that could somehow balance the scales, as if $35,000 could bring back 3,000 people, as if anything she does could make this right. It can't. She knows that, but she has to try. Her phone buzzes. A text from Ji-woo. Can't sleep. You up? Amara stares at the message. She could tell her, right now, about her father, about the blood money, about the foundation of lies their entire relationship is built on. She types, can't either. Want to come over? Then deletes it. Types, big project, rain check. She sends it. Ji-woo replies with a sad emoji. Amara closes her laptop. Some secrets can wait until morning. Some lies need just a little more time. But time is running out faster than she knows. The next day, Tuesday evening,
golden hour in Seoul when the light turns everything beautiful for exactly 30 minutes before darkness falls. Amara stands on the rooftop garden of the agency building, 43 floors above the city that spent 3 years treating her like she's not quite Korean enough to belong. Sung-min Park is there, pouring champagne into 2 glasses. He's 38, Korean-American, expensive watch catching the sunset, easy smile on his face. He's been Amara's mentor since she started, the guy who hired her when nobody else would, who taught her how to navigate Korean corporate culture, the unspoken rules about hierarchy, about deference, about making yourself useful without being threatening, who actually sees her as more than just the translator in the corner. 3 years ago, Sung-min says, handing her a glass, you could barely order coffee in Korean without panicking. Now you're running international press tours in 5 languages. You made yourself indispensable, Amara. You know that, right?
Amara takes the glass, allowing herself to feel something she rarely lets in. Pride. Real pride. I just did my job. No, Sung-min says, sitting on the garden ledge with Seoul spreading out behind him like a promise. You did everyone's job, better than they could. Jiwoo won't work with anyone else. The Italian press specifically requests you. The French distributor asked if you'd relocate to Paris to handle their European operations. You're not just good, Amara. You're exceptional. She doesn't know what to say. In 3 years of invisible work, no one has ever said that to her. Sung-min leans forward. I'm leaving, starting my own agency. Jiwoo's already signed on to come with me. And I want you there too. Not as an employee, as a partner. Equal equity, your name on the door. Park and Tessima Entertainment. The words hit her like a physical thing. Partner. Not the help, not the translator, not the foreign worker who's useful but ultimately disposable. Partner. Her name on a door. Ownership. Recognition. Everything she's fought for. Sung-min, I don't know what to say. Say yes, he tells her, raising his glass. You've earned this. You deserve this. And I need someone I trust, someone who understands that building something real means building it right. So what do you say? Are you in? Amara looks out over Seoul. The city that rejected her for 3 years is finally opening its arms. The invisible translator is finally being seen. All the late nights, all the times she bit her tongue, all the microaggressions she swallowed, all the moments she felt like she was performing Koreanness instead of living it, suddenly all of it makes sense. This is what it was building toward. This is her reward for persistence. She raises her glass to meet his. Yes, yes, I'm in. They toast. The glasses clink. The sound echoes across the rooftop. The sun sets over Seoul, painting everything in gold. For this one perfect moment, everything is possible. For this one perfect golden moment, Amara Tessima has made it. She belongs. She matters. She's finally enough. She has no idea that in 18 hours, an email will arrive that destroys everything, that her half-brother, a brother she never knew existed, is about to publish an article that will burn her entire life to the ground, that every decision she makes from this moment forward will be an impossible choice between people she loves and truth she can't bury. But for now, for this one perfect golden moment on a rooftop in Seoul, she gets to believe she made it. She gets to believe the hard part is over. She gets to believe the lie. The sun sets. Shadows creep across the rooftop garden. Sung-min refills her glass. They talk about the future, office space, hiring plans, which artists to approach first. They talk about building something that matters, something clean, something they can be proud of. And the entire time, Amara has no idea that the foundation they're planning to build on is made of bones. Wednesday morning, Amara awakes to her laptop notification sound. An email. She almost ignores it. Probably spam, probably another PR pitch, probably nothing important. The sender line stops her cold. d.gebrahewat@icijournalism.org. She doesn't know anyone with that name. ICIJ, International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, the organization that broke the Panama Papers, that exposed corruption in dozens of countries, that publishes the kind of investigative journalism that topples governments and destroys empires. Her hand hovers over the mouse.
She doesn't want to click it. Something in her gut knows once she opens this email, everything changes. But she clicks anyway, because how can she not? The email loads. My name is Dawit Gebrehewat. I'm your half-brother. Our father was Colonel Jonas Tessema. I've been investigating his war crimes for 15 years. My article publishes in 72 hours in the International Consortium of Investigative Journalism. It includes documentation of your employer's financial ties to his organization. I'm in Seoul. I'm dying. I wanted to meet you before the world finds out who we are. Dongdaemun Design Plaza. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Come alone. Attached, a photo and a PDF. Amara's breathing gets faster. We can hear it. Shallow, panicked. Half-brother, war crimes, employer, 72 hours. The words swim in front of her eyes. She opens the photo first. A man, gaunt, hospital bracelet visible on his wrist, holding today's newspaper to prove the photo is current. He has her eyes, her father's jawline, her mouth. It's like looking at a masculine version of herself, aged by suffering and hollowed out by illness. Her hands shake as she opens the PDF. Title page fills the screen. Blood Money: How K-pop's Hidden Fortune Was Built on African War Crimes by Dawit Gebrehewat. The document is 93 pages. She starts reading, gets through 5 pages, then 10. Then she has to run to the bathroom and vomit. The article is devastating, meticulously researched. 15 years of investigation compressed into a document that reads like a horror story, except every word is true. UN testimony, satellite imagery, financial wire transfers, survivor interviews, photos, blurred but clear enough to understand what they show. Villages burning, mass graves, bodies. And there, in black and white, undeniable, her father's name, his signature on contracts, his company, his operations, his kills. 3,000 people dead in Eritrea alone, more in other countries. Decades of violence, all of it documented, all of it proven. The article traces the money. Tessema International Security Consulting made millions. Those millions got laundered through shell companies in Singapore, Cyprus, and Seoul. 2 billion won, about $4 million at 1994 exchange rates, got invested into a Korean entertainment startup run by Park Jae-sung. That startup became one of Korea's top 5 entertainment agencies. That agency eventually signed Ji Min-ju. The article names everyone: the CEO who took the blood money, the executives who helped launder it, the lawyers who structured the deals, the accountants who made the paper trail disappear, everyone who knew, everyone who profited, everyone who helped bury 3,000 bodies under 30 years of K-pop success. And there, in the middle of the article, highlighted, Amara Tessema, the war criminal's daughter, discovered the truth and attempted to make restitution by secretly returning portions of the tainted money to survivors' organizations. She represents the one moral act in this 30-year cover-up. He's put her in the article, called her a hero, praised her for trying to give the money back, framed her as the daughter who discovered her father's sins and chose justice. She didn't ask for this, didn't consent to this, and in 72 hours, her name will be attached to this story in every major publication on Earth. Amara slams the laptop shut, runs to the bathroom, vomits again, stays there on the cold tile floor, shaking, crying, trying to breathe, trying to understand, trying to figure out what to do. She has a half-brother, a brother she never knew existed, a brother who's dying, a brother who's spent 15 years hunting her father's ghost, a brother who's about to destroy her entire life in the name of justice. 72 hours until publication. Her phone is in the other room. She should call Ji-woo right now, tell her everything, give her 72 hours to prepare, to get lawyers, to create distance from the agency, to protect herself. That's what love means, right? Warning the people you love when disaster is coming. But if she tells Ji-woo, Ji-woo tells her management. Management calls their lawyers, the lawyers call the ICIJ and Dawit's editors, and suddenly this isn't about truth anymore. It's about NDAs and legal threats and settlements and making it all go away, just like the agency has been making it go away for 30 years. If she warns them, she's protecting the people who profited from 3,000 deaths. She's choosing her comfortable life over justice for strangers she'll never meet. She's becoming complicit in the cover-up. But if she stays silent, Ji-woo gets blindsided. The woman she loves gets her entire career destroyed without warning. 300 agency employees lose their jobs. 60 artists lose their contracts, all because Amara knew and didn't say anything. There's no right answer. There's only the answer she can live with. She picks up her phone, opens her messages to Ji-woo, types, "We need to talk, it's urgent." Deletes it, types, "Can we meet tomorrow? Something important?" Deletes it, types, "I love you." Deletes it, finally types, "Big project at work, rain check on tonight?" Sends it. Ji-woo replies immediately, "Everything okay?" Amara stares at the question, "Everything okay?" What a concept. She types back, "Yeah, just busy. Talk soon." Another lie. Add it to the pile. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., she'll meet her brother at Dongdaemun Design Plaza, and then she'll know if this nightmare is real, and then she'll have to decide what to do with the truth. 72 hours. The countdown has begun. 48 hours and counting.